Today on Larry King Now, 15-year NBA veteran Metta World Peace. What does Metta World Peace mean to you? Why'd you choose that name?
It's like the butterfly, you know, you see the caterpillar, then the butterfly, it blossoms. And I'm still blossoming. Well, I spoke to Kobe, and he said he's gonna carry the team, and I just can't wait to see him play. I can't wait to see Kobe play next year.
Carry the team.
He's gonna carry the team, and I believe him.
On his future in basketball.
I'm not retired, I'm just coaching. People think because I coach, I'm retired. I'm not retired, I'm just coaching.
Okay, now you're a free agent, right?
Yeah.
Is there a place you'd prefer to go?
Yeah, it is, but that gets me in trouble.
Plus,
because I didn't start the Malice at the Palace, and
I
that's what
always
people
supported
say.
you. I thought you flew off the handle, but you
I
had
did
some
fly off the
reason.
handle.
Yeah.
I flew off like 3-4 handles that night.
It's all next on Larry King Now. Welcome to Larry King Now. Our special guest is Metta World Peace, the 15-year NBA veteran, formerly known as Ron Artest, a 2010 NBA champion, 2011 recipient of the J. Walter Kennedy Citizenship Award. That's the NBA's highest citizenship and community service honor. He hosts his own weekly radio show, Metta's World, on Power 106. He founded the nonprofit Excel University in 2007 to help at-risk youth further their education, and is a strong advocate for mental health. In that regard, when he appeared on Larry King Live back in 2010, we crashed his website, raffling off the championship ring. The raffle, he raised $120,000 that day. Appearance had 1.7 million page views. You ever regret giving the ring away?
No, I don't. I mean, it's something you work for your whole career, but you know, I was like, wow, I can do something bigger than just watch it every day, you know? And when we raffled it off, and it just felt so good, and I helped so many people.
What did it bring?
It brought $700,000. It was great. Yeah.
You delivered one to my house.
Yeah, you got your ring. Yeah, we had to make sure you got. Actually, you deserve the ring because you helped out a lot with the raffle.
But that was a great honor. It's right there on the piano. What does Metta World Peace mean to you? Why'd you choose that name?
It means it's like the butterfly. You know, you see the caterpillar, then the butterfly, it blossoms, and I'm still blossoming. I'm still in the context of, you know, my neighborhood. So people still see how I grew up in Metta World Peace also. But then you also see somebody who's trying to evolve. You know, I'm still making some of the same mistakes I made way back when. Not as many, you know, but at the same time, I just wanted to have a new chapter in my life.
You played in New York last year. You didn't have a good time at the Knicks, did you?
Well, I had a great time being in front of my New York fans, but I didn't play a lot. So, you know, as a competitive player, and we didn't make the playoffs. So at that time, I was just like, I was miserable with the fact that I wasn't playing. We were losing games, and it just wasn't ideal for me.
When you're not playing, did you talk to Mike Woodson? Do you say, why not? What do you do as a player when they're not putting you in?
I just accept it. Like, if I'm not playing, I don't like to question my coach. So obviously I want to play, and I try to do what I can do in practice. I push my teammates, but I don't like to go to my coach and say, hey, you know, I want to play more.
Do you ever wonder why you didn't play?
I did. I had a lot of reasons, and I think it was some reasons why I didn't play, but at the same time, I just didn't want to get in the way of a coach, because I believe letting a coach coach.
Okay, now you're a free agent, right?
Yeah.
You're a 15-year veteran.
Yes.
Still want to play?
Absolutely.
Okay, you're free. You can sign with anyone.
Yeah.
You've got Phil Jackson, GM in New York, president of the team. Derek Fisher is now with the Knicks. He's the coach. Want to go back?
I don't know yet. I don't know. I think because last year people think I'm still hurt, which is
You're not hurt.
Not hurt. I got hurt a year and a half ago, just like anybody else. So if anybody else that got hurt a year and a half ago, they heal. 2 years, I'm healthy. And then people think I can't play anymore. So my agent, he's got a lot of questions when he's going to these other teams. So I told him, don't worry about it. You know, we'll go somewhere, we'll play amazing, and then teams will just lose out.
Well, will you talk to Phil and to Mr. Fisher?
Well, it's a thing where we talked, we let teams know we're ready to play, and now it's up to these teams to say, okay, you know, we want Metta on the team. Either you want Metta or you don't. And, you know, wherever I go, I'm gonna be amazing.
Is there a place you'd prefer to go?
Yeah, it is, but that gets me in trouble. Because
Why?
sometimes the place that I prefer to go, and you think you have a shot to go to that place, then they turn around and they don't call.
Yeah,
So then you lose out on all the other teams.
But with Phil and Derek, having been with them, you could call them, couldn't you, directly? You could call them.
I mean, maybe. You never know. Sometimes they're busy right now trying to turn around a franchise in New York City.
How do you think they'll do?
I think they're going to do amazing. Because the system is perfect, for people who want to play basketball, for players who want to win. And I just started coaching also.
The girls' basketball team at Palisades High School?
Yeah, coaching.
You like that?
I'm not retired. I'm just coaching. People think because I coach, I'm retired. I'm not retired. I'm just coaching.
You like coaching?
Love it.
Would you like to coach professionally?
Absolutely.
So you would take an assistant's job and work up?
Well, right now I'm coaching the girls, varsity, and then I'm coaching boys AAU team, 16 and under. I'm coaching men's, and I'm training kids also, training college players. So it's across the spectrum. So it doesn't matter. It don't matter where I coach at. I just want to coach.
Did you ever regret leaving St. John's after only 1 year?
I do. I do regret it.
Should have stayed?
Yeah, because what happened was when I went to St. John's, I was majoring in architecture. I always wanted to build community centers. And then I couldn't turn over my projects because I had practice at 6 a.m. And then I had to turn my project in that morning, so I was tired. I wasn't able to practice, so I had to drop that major. Then I majored in art, same problem, had to drop that major. Then I majored in math. And I wish I could do it over because I would have majored in economics and, business, things that I've learned, later on in my career.
You recently said that there should be one silence day a week in sport, all sports. What do you mean?
I think people criticize too much, talk too much. And every day, being baseball season, football season, basketball season, somebody's being criticized, somebody's being talked about. It should be a day of silence where nobody says anything. Let the players hit the baseball.
Anybody on any today, like tomorrow, no baseball player would speak.
No media would speak.
Oh, the media can.
Yeah.
They can speak, the media can.
Yeah,
what would happen to sports talk radio?
For one day, no criticizing. You got to talk about love.
When we come back, Metta discusses some of his quirky ways and other things after this. We're back with Metta World Peace. You're known as kind of quirky, right? You
Yes.
know that your image is
Weird.
Do you pay attention? Do you care what people say about you?
I care about the image that I put out there, and sometimes, as I transform, I do things that I say, "Oh wow, I should have never done that. I should have never said that." Sometimes I say things because I feel it needs to be said. Other people would say, "Why did you say those things?"
You ever regret it?
Some things I do regret. Some things I do regret. Some things I don't. But it's not. Society's not able to accept some of the things that I say.
Your favorite player was Dennis Rodman, the great defensive star.
Yes.
Who is one of the? I know Dennis. One of the world's weird guys.
He is very weird.
Is he still your favorite?
He's my favorite.
Why?
He's been my favorite since I was a kid. I always wanted to play like him.
Because of defense.
Because his defense, his hustle.
Rebounding.
Rebounding, not necessarily rebounding. I like his hustle. I was never a rebounder. I was more of a steals guy. But I just think the way he played the game with so much passion. And when you look at his backstory, no father, I don't even think he grew up with his mother. And then he's raising children. I grew up the same way. My parents separated and I'm raising children at the age of 16. And it's like, wow, I can relate to that guy.
Looking back 10 years ago, we had the Malice at the Palace, the incredible night.
10 years ago, wow.
November 19th, 2004, at the Palace in Auburn Hills. You ran it, for the benefit of those who may not know, you ran into the stands.
Right.
What happened then? You were on the Pacers.
Yeah, that night, I was still going through a lot at that time. And
Was that your first year?
That was my second year at the Pacers. And
You had been with?
I was with Chicago Bulls. And I was going through some therapy sessions, and I was working on my anger management problems. So when I got into the altercation with Ben Wallace, I immediately said, okay, practice, what you was being taught in your sessions. So I went to lay on the scorer's table, and I didn't expect somebody to throw something and hit me in the face. And to this day, I still don't understand why people say I started something when I totally didn't start it. I didn't hit Ben Wallace first. and I didn't throw something at myself. Now, I did run into the stands. That's something that's a fact. And I think people should just stick to the facts when they bring up this story and stop, making up stories. Because I didn't start the Malice at the Palace, and that's what people say.
I always supported you. I thought it was you flew off the handle, but you
I
had
did
some
fly off the
reason.
handle.
Yeah.
I flew off like 3-4 handles that night.
Is it true that you've become friends with John Green, the fan who incited it? How did you work that out to have a friendship with him?
Well, what happened was after the brawl happened, and I was getting so much backlash from the media and people they just telling other people's stories and not being creative and telling the right story. I just thought everybody like hated me, and so I had something out towards everybody. And then a year later, I kept seeing my psychologist, and she was like, I think you might want to, face your fears and things like that. So I decided to reach out to John Green, and we started to talk, and it took a lot of weight off my shoulders,
You still keep in touch with him?
And we still keep in touch. Yeah.
That's a great thing.
Yeah, I think it's an awesome thing.
I want to talk about some current things in the NBA. LeBron going back to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Good idea?
I think it's great because he's home, and I would go home too. I went home to New York last year. It didn't work out like I wanted it to, but it's always good to go home. And that city's suffering right now too, so maybe he can bring some things to the city that other people can't.
You had a famous block on LeBron James, right?
Maybe once.
Yeah, his first year.
He's a pretty tough player.
Donald Sterling. What do you make of that whole situation in L.A.?
I think, like once again, I say things to get me in trouble, and I always thought.
Go ahead, get in trouble.
Get in trouble, right? But I thought that his privacy was, compromised, and I still believe that because I'm a celebrity, and I hate when people take pictures and take videos when I'm not watching or I'm on the plane, I'm sleeping, somebody's snapping pictures while my mouth is open or something like that, then they post it, and I think that's unfair.
You had to be hurt by what he said, though.
No, I was hurt, but it was nothing that I was surprised about. I wasn't surprised that he said those things, and I understand people. I understand how everybody was raised, and people's raised differently. To this day, people still being raised in racist households. Some people's being raised in pro-black activist households, extremists. You got all type of extremists all over the world in different religions. And when you understand that, it's like, okay, immediately when somebody says something, you gotta see, okay, why did they say?
So if you were the NBA, maybe you wouldn't have taken the team away.
If I was the commissioner or something like that, I just thought he needed to do some major damage control, and he needed to, understand that he was wrong for what he said. And I think he did apologize. Maybe taking the team away was right, but I don't think that was my decision. But everybody had different views on this. You
don't like privacy invaded?
No, definitely not.
Will Kobe be Kobe?
Kobe's gonna be amazing.
I like him a great deal.
Kobe's gonna be amazing.
What's he like as a teammate? What's he like as a person?
Well, I spoke to Kobe, and he said he's gonna carry the team, and I just can't wait to see him play. I can't wait to see Kobe play next year.
Carry the team.
He's gonna carry the team, and I believe him. I believe him.
But he doesn't have much of an.
He doesn't need it. He never needed anybody. Kobe's like he could do everything himself. I've seen this before.
But don't you want to win as much?
Oh, absolutely. I want to win just as much as Kobe want to win.
You can't shoot like him.
I can't. Yeah, he's pretty amazing.
So the Lakers can come back, do you think?
I think the Lakers will be good. They got Boozer. They got a nice pick. They got Kobe. They got Lin. I like Jeremy Lin a lot.
I do too. They're knocking that pick. I like him. I think he's a good point guard.
He's a really good point guard.
When we come back, Metta World Peace, the advocate, right after this. We're back with Metta World Peace. What made you come out about mental health? I mean, a lot of people who have had the problems or anger management might decide not to talk about it. Why did you decide to talk about it?
Well, I decided to talk about it because I realized that I'm not the only one with issues. I realized that there's a lot of kids that have the same issues that I had, and they get in trouble. And I visit prisons a lot. I visit adolescent centers, San Quentin. I have a class that I teach at San Quentin. I have a class that I teach at Orange County Prison here in California. And I even get slack about going to the prisons and teaching people how to deal with their anger.
Why you get slack over that?
I don't know. I don't know. I go to prisons and I just try to help out, people that's in there that when they get out, they'll be able to be rehabilitated and things like that. But when I see the issues, I'm like, you know what, I want to do something about it, and I want to get in more prisons and I want to help kids that have anger management issues, mental health issues that can't control themselves. They harm others, harm themselves.
Is that therapeutic for you too?
It's more fulfilling. I guess that's the same thing, It used to be therapeutic, but now that I'm able to control myself a little bit more, I understand what's going on, it's more fulfilling. And now it's like I really have to do something.
You still get angry?
Not as much as I used to. I get annoyed more now.
Well, everyone does it. In 2007, you started a nonprofit, Excel University, which works with high-risk youth on education and advocacy for mental health. You still got that, you're still very involved, right?
Yes,
Your website, how do we get in touch with you?
exceluniversity.com.
That's Excel's XCEL, right?
Yeah, XCEL University. You could definitely donate there if you want. We've been trying to set up things where we don't always have to ask people to donate, so we're trying to do other events, but we're still active.
You do raffle off things, right?
We do raffle. We raffled off the ring, raised some money. My only championship ring. But we're staying active. And sometimes, we stay active with our message, more than money.
But you raise money from raffling. You testify before Congress.
Yes.
You appear in public service announcements. What about the heroes in the recovery race?
That's going to be great. We partnered with a lot of great organizations. Transcend, which is a great rehabilitation home for a lot of youth. And we're going to New York City. We're going to hopefully raise some money again. And, this issue is so big and widespread, so sometimes you raise $500,000, or if you raise $1 million, that's not enough. But you send a good message. That's the main thing. We want to continue to send a message and give people hope.
One of the problems you face is society still doesn't look at mental illness as it looks at kidney illness.
Right. And, it's pretty much the same thing. It needs research. It needs funding. We need to take care of our future, and even in education, I guess we're behind in the world in technology, and we're getting smaller, and all these other countries are getting bigger in technology, and then we're going to be so more dependent. And so I think mental health is at the foundation and the core.
Do you look at your childhood as the reason for your anger?
Absolutely.
What does your doctor say?
After I had anger management counseling, I had marriage counseling, parenting counseling, because I wanted to become a better parent and things like that. But absolutely, my childhood was the reason. When you grow up in a violent household, when you grow up in a violent community, that could affect you right there. And then when you don't address those issues early, you become who you are, and then if you never address those issues, it'll just live with you.
Why didn't basketball, though, since you were so good at that,
right.
Why didn't that help? One would think you had anger, but that was a way out. So one would think, why couldn't basketball have helped you in all the other areas?
It can't, because basketball can't speak to you. It's fun, but it can't help you personally. It can't change you. Now you can, for that period of time, you're off the court and your mind is only focused on basketball. But if you bring something from home on the basketball court, then you have an issue. Then you bring something from the basketball court, then you bring it back home, and nothing's been addressed.
On the court, do you take that anger? Bill Hartack, the great jockey, said he took his anger to the race.
Right.
So he would be mad at his opponents and use that to win races.
Right. I don't agree with that. Me personally, I don't agree with that. I can't play angry. I like to play control. So most of the time when I'm on the court, I've been working on playing, focused. So how can I give the same amount of effort, the same maximum effort, the same amount of intensity, but how can it be controlled? How can you be locked in? And Tim Duncan and the Spurs are perfect examples of that. They play just as hard as the Miami Heat, but they win. They don't showboat, but they win. They don't show too much emotion, but they win. And that's how you should play the game.
Is Duncan then someone you admire a great deal?
Absolutely. I admired Duncan since 2005. When I came from Indiana, I got traded to Sacramento, and I was still in transition. I was still seeing therapists. And I watched Tim Duncan, and I'm like, wow, You know, I want to play the game just like that. And I would try, actually, to play the game relaxed and calm. That's why sometimes my coaches would say, Metta, are you in the game? Are you in the game? And I would have a monotone sort of face, you know, a look on my face. I'm like, yeah, I'm focused. You know, I'm ready to go out there and play hard, but, you know, there's no need to be that excited right now.
Why do you think it's hard for some players, great player, Kevin Love, for example?
Yeah.
Why is it hard for them to improve defensively? Why is defense hard for good players?
Defense, you see, that's the thing. It's good you bring that up. And a lot of general managers, some coaches, and fans, they don't understand how important effort is. In life, effort is important. And when you're on the court, you get a guy like Tony Allen, you get a guy like Kawhi Leonard. He averaged 17 points. If I told you a month ago or a year ago, 17 points will get you the MVP in the NBA Finals, y'all look at me and laugh. But the effort behind that was the reason why they won the finals, was the reason why they won the championship.
Is defense effort?
Defense is effort, and it's just as important as offense, and people don't really understand that.
And you can teach it?
I can teach it. I don't know about many others.
We'll find out the toughest player Metta's had to defend ever right after this. We're back with Metta World Peace. We have some social media questions.
Yes.
Mickey Hart's on Twitter. If you could win a championship for any city, what city would it be? You can't give that away, right? Because that would you'd tell us who you'd like to
Honestly,
play.
if I could win it's two teams I would want to win the championship for.
Okay.
Number one would be Indiana.
Good owner.
Great owner.
Yeah.
A team that kind of sparked my career. Larry Bird and Donnie Walsh. They helped me out a lot. And then second would be Detroit.
Because?
Because of the brawl, and I just thought it would be an amazing story to win a championship in Detroit.
You're good for that city, too. At Dine55, who's the weirdest, most interesting teammate you ever played with?
The weirdest, most interesting teammate? I guess it'd be Ron Artest. He was pretty weird.
That guy, yeah. At Bilga G729, would you become an NBA coach?
Oh, definitely. I think I'm going to be an NBA coach one day. Hopefully, you know, if I apply for an NBA job and owners can see past, you know, Metta World Peace, the
Did
ghetto guy.
you get a lot of technicals?
I've got a lot.
At J.D. Hirsch, will Phil Jackson eventually coach the Knicks?
Well, now that he got Derek Fisher, no. I thought if he brought in another coach, he would definitely coach the Knicks. But he can just tell
Jamaican May, who would a dream team of NBA players consist of if you were able to make your own team?
Dream team, Oscar Robertson, Larry Bird, Shaquille O'Neal, Michael Jordan, and Tim Duncan.
Not LeBron yet.
I mean, yeah.
A game of If You Only Knew. Remember the first girl you ever kissed?
I do.
What was her name?
Her name was Kimsha.
And where was it? In Queens?
It was in Queens.
How old were you?
I was 15 years old.
You ever find out what happened to her?
Yeah, we got 3 kids together.
First girl you kissed?
Yeah.
Wow, you took that far.
Yeah.
Toughest player to defend?
Toughest player to defend? For me, I would say Kobe. Because he has every move. People get mad because they say Durant's better, LeBron's better. But Kobe is absolutely amazing.
Best all-around teammate?
Yao Ming.
Really?
Yeah. And that's going ahead of Shane Battier and going ahead of Derek Fisher, which is a hard thing to do.
What was special about Yao Ming?
Yao Ming was a superstar, one of the biggest superstars ever in the NBA, probably the biggest, and the most humblest guy I've ever met. Like, just so down to earth. Never seen him with security guards. Hopped in his little truck, not an Escalade. I don't even know the name of the truck that he had. Had tons of money. Did everything the team did.
Great hero in China.
Practice. Hero in China. He's an amazing guy.
Funniest teammate?
Funniest teammate probably would be Lamar was pretty funny.
Lamar was?
Lamar with him, yeah. He was a clown, danced a lot.
Biggest trash talker on the court?
Paul Pierce is
Really?
the biggest, yeah.
Still?
Still to this day. He's the last one.
He's on the Wizards now.
Yeah. He's still talking trash right now.
Favorite thing about the game of basketball?
Favorite thing about the game of basketball is probably the ball.
The ball.
The ball.
Best college memory.
College memory.
Didn't have a long time there.
I didn't have a long. It was only 2 years.
City school, St. John's.
And we didn't have dorms. It wasn't like a college. It was more like a community
building.
center or something.
Adjective to describe being drafted. How high were you drafted?
I was drafted 16. I was supposed to go higher, but then I guess I dropped a little bit, and it was amazing. We had a great time.
Your favorite rivalry?
My favorite rivalry is probably Paul. Paul Pierce, Kobe Bryant, but maybe Paul because I played against Paul more than Kobe.
Toughest city to play in?
The toughest city, Philly.
Philly.
I guess everybody would say that.
They would boo a cure for cancer.
Yeah, yeah.
They're tough.
Oh, yeah.
Utah's pretty tough, too. The fans are very loud, right?
They're loud, but Philly's like in your face. They really want you to lose.
Music that pumps you up before a game?
Alberta Hunter.
Favorite sport besides basketball?
Boxing.
Peyton Manning or Tom Brady?
Tom.
New York Yankees or Mets?
Mets.
Would you rather hit a home run or catch a touchdown pass?
Home run.
You're my man, Metta.
Thanks
Keep
for
it
having
up.
me. Appreciate
And what's
it.
the website if they want to go find you?
Yeah, they can go to MettaWorldPeace.com or exceluniversity.com.
I want to thank my guest, the NBA great Metta World Peace. Can't wait to see where he ends up this year. But in the meantime, you can listen to Metta's World on Power 106 and find out more information on Excel University and the Heroes in Recovery race at exceluniversity.com. Remember, you can find me on King's Things, and I'll see you next time.